Hi, I'm Cash, and welcome back to Cash Coaches Football. I don't really talk football, I really analyse and break down games with my over 20 plus years coaching experience, and really coach the game and give you a different insight to everybody else and all those idiot sports pundits that don't have a clue. Today we're doing Turkey against Portugal, and I want you to have a little look, and this is the difference of understanding the game. He knows that his players marking him are actually paying no attention whatsoever to him in the game. Okay, and I'll keep an eye on him as this goes forward, because they do a little pass down here, they play a 1-2 in here, and if you look at Turkey, they're absolutely solid. They're doing a great job defending here, but this is the key guy here, and we're going to see how people just lose complete and utter concentration in the game. Now, I always say you don't need to mark the player furthest away from the ball, and you're completely right here. But what you need to do is have your body shape correct. If you look at this guy's body shape, and you can see he's facing this way. Let's get rid of some of these lines so I can show you a little bit better. Look, he's looking at his own goal. He can't see the player. The key about being able to leave this player unmarked is because you're actually running backwards, not running with your back to the player that you should be marking. You should be able to see the ball and this player at the same time. Okay, so he needs to be facing a little bit this way, and he needs to be backpedaling here. Look at that. That's running backwards, right? Running backwards and not running forwards, because he's not really worried about the danger in being quicker into this space here. He's really worried about maybe that player behind him, and that's probably it, because he knows he's got cover here, and he's not really worried about anything else. But you can't ignore your blind side. You cannot mark him. That's absolutely fine, because he knows if this ball gets pass to him, yeah, if it does it with sound effects, it goes faster. He can get there and close him down, but he can't get there and close him down if he's not facing him, and he doesn't know if that first touch then will be in behind him or what this player is going to do, because he can't actually see him. Okay, very, very important. So let's move this on a little. Ball goes out, that little pass I just showed you. Everybody's moved on a bit, and you can start to see the breakdown of the shape. Now we've got another player coming in, ghosting in here as well, and that's why it's so important that this guy is on the half turn. So he doesn't even have to be on the full turn. A full turn would be he's facing this way, donk, 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 instead of facing that way, donk, 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 which he is. He wants to be on the half turn a little bit, so he can kind of see out the corner of his eye that player there and that, and still be able to turn and retreat backwards. Doesn't make the adjustment, doesn't see the danger. This guy did. That's why he raised his hand straight away. They beat these two fullbacks here with a little bit of overcommitment and play. Standard, bad defensive play, but that's fine. That can happen, especially when the players, on the wing are faster than. Now, what they've got caught up in here, and this is why I think Portugal's a bit of a dark horse team, because Cristiano Ronaldo's managed to gravitate two players in. He's kind of stood still, even though he was raising his hand for the space, because he really identified it first. Watch these two players here. Watch this little ghosting in. And the thing with Ronaldo, and this is why I class Portugal as a dark horse to win the Euros, is because he's good enough, but he's not good enough. Well, that sounds stupid, Cash. I know he's good enough if he put the ball at his feet to score from anywhere inside the box, and everybody on the planet knows it. So they're panicking a little bit. He's got people around him that are willing to work hard and run for him. So you can afford to have a lazy player, because he's got he doesn't have all the talent in the world anymore. He's got all the talent in the world with the ball at his feet. Okay? So everyone's kind of panicking over that, but everyone else is picking up his shift. They're just doing a little bit extra and a little bit more around him, and Portugal are. They're all creative. They're all working hard. They're all running, knowing that if they can get the ball to Ronaldo, they will get a goal. And he's taking so much attention away that's opening up for the creativity of Portugal. It really is interesting to watch how they still try to double mark him and do things thinking that he's going to run off the back of people, but he's just not. But that opens it up so much for Portugal. And you can have a player like that because he brings so much experience to the team and helping everyone else drive forward. So as this goes and breaks through, let's just move this on just a little bit. Blom, 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 blom. You can see now he's ghosting in. Everyone is thinking Ronaldo's going. He's going. This player hasn't even reacted. I know this is the player that I was talking about originally, but he's the one that spotted the play, and he's the one that's actually executing on it here for this goal as it comes in. As we move it forward a little bit more, boom, here comes the ball, he defends it, Ronaldo goes for it, he's not getting there, but look at that pocket of space that's opened up, and you saw how solid Turkey were with their banks of four a second ago, and all of a sudden, they're just not tracked. One simple runner, and they weren't even close to this guy as well, and that massive pocket of space has opened up right in the middle. That looks a bit rude, Cash. We shouldn't be drawing things like that on YouTube, but we do anyway. Right, so as this ball breaks, he just knocks it into the net box. Bosch gets himself a finish, and there we go. That's just simply ignoring the blindside runner. He came all the way from the sideline, came all the way in, and everyone there in the box, two players are focused on Ronaldo, and had no intention of whatsoever of marking that runner, and they got punished. Let's get on to the next goal. Now, this play here epitomises exactly what I'm talking about by the Portuguese team. You can see, look, he's second favourites to get this ball, right? You can see him. He's behind the player. He's clearly favourite to win the ball because he's closest to it. But watch this. Watch the determination for him to come in, win this ball. Bosh. There we go. Takes it off his foot straight away. He's claiming it was a foul. Clearly wasn't. And then they get to go on the counter. But that's what I'm talking about with the people around in the Portuguese team doing that extra little bit of work, trying a little bit harder because they know they've got to carry Ronaldo up front a little bit because he's not going to come track back down here and do any of this. So they're making sure that they're doing all that extra work in midfield. Now, if you notice in what Ronaldo wants, he wants the ball played there. So he's got a chance to run onto it. He doesn't want it here, and he doesn't want it here. Okay, these are the areas he doesn't want the ball to be played because he knows he's not quick enough. By the way, I watched him do a turn of pace in the last game he played. He's still got a bit of pace about him, actually. It's he's still quick over a long distance. It's quite surprising at his age. What is he, 512 now? But he wants that ball played, bump, so he can hold that player off and then keep it, and drift away this way to cut in and finish. That's what he wants. You can see it. And what he does, though, as soon as this ball's played, it's kind of hilarious. Bosh, he pulls up because he knows he's never getting to that pass. It's so way too far away from him. He knows he can't run over there. There's no way on earth he's going to outsprint this guy and get that far, down into the corner. Maybe a couple of years ago, maybe 300 years ago when he was a young lad, but not anymore. As we move this on just a little bit, you can see his frustration and how he stamps his feet like a child. He's like, go and run for the ball. Look how far away this pass is, though. He's put it into the space, but it's not the space Ronaldo wanted. He wanted it more of a curved pass on that other side of him so he could fight with that defender and keep it out there. That's what he wanted, right? Didn't get it. But what he didn't know is Turkey are rubbish. He had no idea that they were going to score an own goal from here. Now, if I told you they're going to score an own goal from here, you're going to be laughing at me saying there's no possible way they can mess this up. But the keeper's panicked. And again, it comes down from Ronaldo, the panic of having a quality, world-class striker that they know they have to pay attention to. So they try a little bit extra hard. Let's see if I can back this up ever so slightly with my boomer skills. Because this guy, let me pause it a second and see if I can get. Yeah, hopefully I can. Watch this defender here. He has a look at the keeper to look where he is to passing the ball properly. Let's move on. There he is. See, he looks at the keeper to make sure he can pass the ball to the keeper. The keeper's like, okay, look, if this guy's still complaining, Ronaldo's still having a fit. Oh, what are you doing, you muppet? Why aren't you going? Well, give me the ball. Pass it properly. He knocks it and he knocks it straight past the keeper into his own net box. Wow, that just happened. And the keeper's, he took an extra 2 steps forward, but he took his eye off the keeper, and they completely, by the way, he didn't have to pass it to the keeper. The right thing to do was just use this space here, all right, and just step forward and be assertive and take control of the game and move forward. He didn't need to knock it back to the keeper. There was absolutely no reason, but he did, and hilariously, it goes in the goal. Bosh, in it goes to the net box, and yes. Let's get on to the next goal. As I was saying, Ronaldo's old and decrepit at 950 years old, but what he is willing to do is still run that line. He's still pushing those defenders back, and he's still willing to run for balls in behind. Now, when this ball's played, this is the guy that makes the mistake, keeps him onside, and screws it up, and he knows it. He tries to recorrect. Watch. As he goes, look, you can see he's playing him onside. This is the problem. Everybody else has stepped up. He's now, I've made a mistake. And this is what cost them the goal ultimately. This one defender here panicking again because it's Ronaldo, and I'm telling you, he sees that number 7 on the shirt and on the back, and he's like, "Oh my God, I've got to go and cover for him." But he doesn't. What he does is he slips, falls over, and then Ronaldo's in for a cakewalk. This poor lad's screaming for offside, but he doesn't know his mate is passed out onto the floor with embarrassment, and these two are wandering into the net box. But this is the difference what I'm seeing with Ronaldo, and he's, by the way, he's been doing this all his career, but normally he'd back himself and back his ability here to go 1v1 with a keeper and just beat him, but he doesn't. He passes it at Ratface, and Ratface gets himself a goal, and that's quality from Ronaldo. That's proper team leadership there. That's not a greedy striker. That's not someone that, who's trying to pad his stats or do any of that. What he's trying to do is get his team the win, secure it. So when he comes in, he just rolls it here to Ratface, and Ratface taps it into the net box. That comes down to loads of things from Ronaldo doing quality forward play, Yes, the defender falls. Yes, without that defender making the mistake, none of that would have happened. But also, Ronaldo not being greedy and selfish and trying to beat the player and beat the keeper and making a mistake. Now, also, everyone would back Ronaldo to beat the keeper there, 1v1 and score. But the fact he rolls it off and lets somebody else score on the team shows, how mature he is at this level. And that's why I think Portugal are a dark horse team for the Euros. Will they win it? Probably not, because the finals are a weird thing. But they've got a really good shot at making the finals. Other than that, I'll see you next time on Cash Coaches Football.